That is hardcore.
This is hardcore shit.
But for me, it's harder and harder to resist.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hardcore Horror with Mike and Brigitte. This is Mike.
Hey, this is Brigitte. Hey, Mike.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Here we are at our second episode, and what do we got for us tonight, Brigitte?
So we have a special guest, Tracey West. Hello, Tracey.
Hello.
We're so excited you're here.
Thank you for having me.
So we want to talk about a few things that you've done recently. You've been in a few things, right?
Maybe a few. Couple.
What's the most recent project that you've done?
Oh, let's see. I play a vampire in a movie called Deadlines. You know that movie well, don't you?
I do.
So,
I do.
Tell us about your part with Deadlines.
My part with Deadlines, I play a female vampire that was converted by the head vampire priest.
I'm her master.
That's funny. That's so funny. Tell us how that story come about.
Well, I like to play in haunted houses, and I work for one called Slaughterhouse, which, by the way, Slaughterhouse plug is the longest haunt in Tennessee. It's been around for, I think, 36 years now.
I've been to it many times.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm the vampire there.
Well, it's been a while. How long have you been there? How long have you been?
5 years?
No, it's been 4.
Oh, so you went downtown.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
that's a while ago.
before Ben and Stacy purchased it. So basically, I'm in there doing my thing, playing my vampire character, and George Dimmick, who I've worked with on some things before, pulled me aside and he said, "What's your backstory?" And I was like, I never really thought about a backstory. So I'm like, okay, I'm a priest because I wear this cross on my forehead. So I'm a priest, and what else? A woman turns me, so I become a vampire. So I'm a priest, a woman turns me, and then just like all women, she left, and so I'm searching the world for my next victim, hence Brigitte.
The funny thing is that when Tracey and I were friends, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to be in this vampire movie. You know, you want to be in this movie with me?" And I said, "Yeah." Actually, at the time, I had no idea that the movie was based off of your character, which is pretty cool. I had never acted ever before, and turns out that, hey, I don't suck.
No, I was flirting really, so.
But that's how I got into acting. But the movie is really, really good. It's Flicker and Candle Productions. It's a George Dimmick film. It's filmed here in Nashville, so it's filmed locally. It's a low-budget movie, but we had a really great time. We met a lot of friends. I met a lot of friends, and that led to the next movie that I filmed. But we're not talking about me tonight. We're talking about you. So tell me some other things that you've done in horror.
In horror?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. In horror. I'm trying to think. I mean, Deadlines has been the biggest thing for me. I've done a music video where, you've seen that video where I'm running around killing people. Remember that?
No, I don't remember that one.
Really?
I don't remember that one. What about Cyclone?
Oh, well, that wasn't really horror.
I did see your brain splattered out.
Yeah, but that wasn't really
Is
horror.
this a movie? What is this?
I think it was supposed to have been a movie, but they ended up making it a short. Is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna do the short first, gain interest in it, and then go and make the movie. But actually, the guy got out of doing movies and got into podcasting. So
Okay.
Hey, here we are.
Yeah.
That's what we do, right?
but Cyclone, it was basically. How would you put it? I was more of a person that trained this girl, kind of like a Kill Bill type movie,
Okay.
grindhouse movie.
Sure.
It was in that style. But basically on that one, I've trained this girl, I've kind of screwed her over, and she wants revenge. And so, long story short, she gets it.
Okay.
I will say one of my favorite ones was we were just talking about this earlier. It was a short where your son plays in it as well.
Oh, that was the Sleep movie, Beyond the Wall of Sleep, based on H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah.
That one, I was a guard.
Yeah.
And then also one of the, I forget the characters they're called, but it was me and Stacy Dixon and a few
So
other
where you had the
people.
white faces, right?
Yep,
Yeah, that was different.
it was.
And what's his name had a small part
Lloyd.
in it. Lloyd Kaufman.
And Lloyd Kaufman's in it.
Lloyd Kaufman, really small part. You'll have to check that one out.
Yeah.
Beyond the Wall of Sleep.
Yeah, it's called Sleep movie, Beyond the Wall of Sleep, because H.P. Lovecraft has Beyond the Wall of Sleep.
Gotcha.
Sleep
Okay.
movie. Okay. Is that a feature?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So, what else? I feel like I can sit here and talk about so many things.
The biggest thing I ever did was I worked on the TV show Nashville for a while.
Did
That
you
wasn't
ever
horror,
watch
but
Nashville?
Yeah. Were you behind the scenes or on?
well, you know the character that played Deacon?
Mhm.
In the first season, he quits playing country music and he joins the biggest rock and roll band in the world called the Rebel Kings.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was in the Rebel Kings with him.
Okay. Very cool.
I had one little speaking part, so that was kind of fun. The other thing, well, this would lead into horror. If you've watched True Blood, the guy, what was his name? Marcus. His character's name, Marcus. The head of the werewolves
Okay.
before.
He just recently, for the first time, started watching True Blood. I'm a True Blood fan from way back, and I couldn't believe he had never seen it before.
Nope, I hadn't.
Have you seen True Blood?
Yes.
Marcus Bozeman, that was his character's name, but he was the lead singer in our band, the Rebel Kings.
Oh,
And so he would talk about True Blood, and I had no earthly idea what he was talking about.
gotcha. Very cool.
One of my favorite things is when you were working at the Haunt Insane Asylum, and you were Dr.
That would be
Dr.
Auburn Town Asylum,
You were Dr. What? I can't remember.
Dr. Zender Klein.
And they do this whole little skit. So apparently when you would go into this haunt, they would have everyone watch like a little short. And the short was about him being the crazy doctor.
Mm.
And that's one of my favorites. The first time I remember walking in his closet and he had this doctor's coat and it was covered in blood. I was like, what is this? Oh, what is this? I love this. And then he showed me the short and I was just upset. I was like, I love this. This is the greatest thing. Of course, I'd never been to the haunt. That wasn't Nashville though, right?
It was in Auburn Town, just outside of Murfreesboro.
So were you in the haunt or you were in the video?
I was in.
But-
Actually, it started. They hired me to do the character for the little film that they shot, and then they were like, "Hey, would you be interested in working the haunt?" Sure, So it was fun. The funny thing is, what was the nurse? Oh, it's been a while since I've done this, but I can't remember the nurse's name. But she had a sex toy. She was like a dominatrix type girl. And so people, they would have to walk into my office, and before I'd let them go through, I had that little sex toy. And it would like zap you, and these lights will pop up. And so I had that, and then I had this other little battery-powered thing that it would, I'd go to, like I'm all sticky with it, and it goes zzz, and so you wouldn't really feel anything.
Yeah.
But when I reached over and got you with the zapper, that was the.
Did she use that before?
Ain't no telling with her. But the funny thing is, I would be in there going through my little spiel, and then some girl would go through and say, "I know what that is. I got one of those at home, honey." It was fun.
That was fun. I'll never forget the coat, and I had to try it on. I was like, "Look at this! This is the funnest thing ever." How many women do you know that's look in your closet and see a bloody coat and completely be obsessed with it? That would be me.
Right.
And I don't think you would let any women in my closet. So.
Yeah. No.
So I worked in a haunted house once, and it was pretty cool. But I got a question for you. So at the time, it was me and my girlfriend. We had this vampire shtick where there was like the people would come around the bend, and there was a coffin in the middle, okay, and I was actually hiding up on a hill, so it was just a trick out. So she was she was inside the coffin. So when they came close to the coffin, she would jump out of the coffin, and they would look at her, and I'd be up on the hill, and I would jump down when they were looking at her and scare the shit out of
Nice jump scare.
Right. So with her, she would like really try to scare them. And I remember one night in particular, somebody, just as a reaction, slapped the shit out of her. Did you ever get any of those kind of things in the haunt?
Yes, and when I'm in the haunt, if you hit me because I scared you, hey, more power to you. Awesome. If you hit me just to be hitting me, I had a problem.
Right.
But I stayed in character with that problem. But I made sure that you were got before you got through the haunt.
It's completely different. So haunts is not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I love anything horror, but it's not really my thing. We helped out at Slaughterhouse this year. I think this is the first year that he didn't work there, and they need some extra help. And my daughter and I worked the gift shop. Mm-hmm. So at the very end, when you're coming out of Slaughterhouse, you hit the gift shop. And some of the people, like, coming out of there, I was so shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so stressful. Like, there were some people being kind of aggressive. And men coming out of there being aggressive. I even think a few of them had to get escorted out.
Yeah.
And women that would come out was so completely terrified. And I was in normal clothes because I was running a gift shop. I did have my creepy eyes on, though. I did have my white eyes. And just, they were so scared. And I was like, this is the craziest thing. I couldn't imagine working there every single weekend. And just, I don't even want to know all the things you've experienced in a haunted house, because
I've seen quite a few things. But one of my favorite things to do with my character is I like to be more like Alice Cooper. I like to be more shock rock type thing. So basically, one of the things that I did was I made my own little drinkable blood. And so I had that. And then I had a tampon in it. And so I would walk around to girls and people, and I would pull the tampon up. Would you like some vampire tea? Mm-hmm.
Have you seen his birthday videos? Have you seen the birthday video?
I'll have to show you. Yeah, I send birthday videos out to everybody for their birthdays, and it's my character, Sebastian, and he's got the vampire tea. But if you came inside and you were really cool with me, like I'd ask you if you want some vampire tea. Some people would take it, some people wouldn't. But then there would also be the jerks.
Right.
And so the jerks, people in Slaughterhouse that worked there knew if the jerks aggravated me, because I would take the vampire tea and I would take that tampon out and I would rub it on their face. So they would go through with a sticky face with tampons fuzz all over.
Marked them.
Yeah, I marked them. So they knew. It was pretty fun.
It's interesting seeing you in character, because to me you're Tracey, but out there I remember one night we worked together a couple years ago at Slaughterhouse, and I'd say, Tracey, and like he would completely ignore me, and the guard or the security guard was like, he doesn't go by that name here, and that was really hard for me.
It's method.
Yeah, that was really hard. And the Tattoo and Horror Festival, we went through Slaughterhouse, and my problem is I just want to love on all the villains. He's like, ooh, Michael Myers is behind you, and I was like, yee, Michael Myers! I just want to hug all the the villains. Can't take me through a haunted house.
Well, one of the things I love about the haunted houses are the set pieces.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite.
That's what I like. The really, macabre or gothic stuff that they have in there. I like to go check those out.
Well, I think from you being a movie director too, you can really appreciate the effort that they put to even create that set.
Oh yeah, sure.
I mean, it's a lot of time. A lot of people don't appreciate that, but I think from a movie director standpoint, they put a lot of work into it.
Oh, for sure.
Well, Stacy Dixon, Ben Dixon's wife, she's the one that designed all of Slaughterhouse. In fact, this year they're revamping everything in Slaughterhouse and reversing how it was. So you went in one way and you came out the gift shop. This year you'll actually go through where the gift shop is the opening, and where you came out when you first started.
That's cool.
But she does a really good job with the sets. And the thing is, a lot of people don't realize, they think, okay, Halloween comes and then, that's it until, the next year right before it gets. No, it's basically a 10-month job. So, you might have a couple of months off and then boom, you're back at it working on sets and getting everything all set up for the next year and changing things around. And she puts a lot of work in it.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of work. It's a cool place. Slaughterhouse is a cool place. You have the tattoo.
Lone Wolf
Tattoo.
Which is the longest tattoo. It's been around longer than any other tattoo studio.
Didn't know that.
It has.
I didn't know that.
Intensity.
And then you've got Slaughterhouse connected to it. Then you also have Full Moon Cineplex. Have you been to Full Moon Cineplex?
I haven't.
It's awesome.
It is. It's a lot of fun. It's a little small theater, but they play a lot of local indie. But I think it's all horror related. Am I right?
Well, I mean, they've done Smoking the Bandit things too, the older stuff, but yeah, it's more horror related than.
It is. It's a really small little theater, and that's where Deadlines had premiered. Mm-hmm. And it's really small. I think they even do a buffet or something there. Am I right?
Well, it's not a buffet. You pay a certain amount, and you can get food with it.
But you have to check that out, Mike, because it's a cool little atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
And they have the regulars that are there every weekend for their dinners and to watch whatever movies playing, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, very cool. Got another topic? Let's talk about horror. You want to?
Yeah, you want to talk about...
Well, first of all, let's just talk about horror itself. Like, how'd you get involved with horror, or how'd you get involved in the industry? Was it with a horror movie, or what was your first horror movie experience?
My first horror movie experience is an experience all of its own. When I was little, I was used to my parents taking me to the movie theater to watch a movie, and I'd always go to the front row, and I would sit on there, and usually it's like Herbie the Love Bug or something like it. And I'm showing my age. So it's something like that. And so my sister and her soon-to-be husband at the time, well, they got stuck with babysitting duty, which was me. And so they go and they put me on the front row, and I'm getting ready to watch the movie, and they're somewhere in there, I have no clue. I'm 4 or 5 years old. This movie starts up. This lady's having a baby. Next thing I know, he just hits the door and half his face is ripped off and there's blood everywhere. And I'm, oh my God, Brenda! I'm crying and I'm running up and down the aisles trying to find my sister. It was pretty frightening, to say the least. So that was my first experience with a horror movie.
What was the movie?
It's Alive.
It's alive.
It's alive. And the funny thing was, I guess I wanted to face my fears, and maybe it was like 5 or 6 years ago, I actually went and I watched it, and I'm like, are you kidding? But 4 or 5, that's traumatic.
Right, sure. So that put you off for a little while. When did you pick it back up? When did you start watching horror movies after that? Traumatic experience.
I can remember being over at my biological family's home, and they were watching a movie called Motel Hell. And so I'm like peeking around the corner trying to figure out what's going on, because I'm a little shy and timid about it, but I'm watching, and I really liked the movie. And
Motel Hell's a good one.
It was a good one. It's a really good one. I never realized, though, that was Beulah from Porky's. Did you?
No. Not at the time, I didn't.
You remember Beulah?
Oh, the sister.
It's got a mole on it, from Porky's.
Yeah. I didn't realize that either until you pointed it out to me, actually.
It sure was.
What do you think? What did you like about it? What did you like about Motel Hell?
There's several things I liked about it, but I guess one of the things, just the slapstick humor that's included with it too. I like horror movies. Don't get me wrong. I really love horror movies. You've had me watch some extreme horror movies, and I'm not a big extreme horror movie. If you're just hacking somebody up to be hacking somebody and there's no story to it, I don't like it. But if it's got a story to it, then it's really cool. I like it. It's just like the thing with subtitles. I'm ADD. I cannot sit still long enough to watch something with subtitles. But you had me watch, I think it was called Martyrs, and I ended up liking it. So
Martyrs is a good one, though.
Martyrs was good. I enjoyed it.
What did you like about Martyrs?
Ugh, jeez. I mean, the story, it was a genuine story. It wasn't just hacking somebody up just for fun. But I didn't like the brutality, though, so much. Guy going over, bam, 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 every morning, just beating the shit out. I'm sorry. Can I? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Martyrs, it walks a thin line because something that extreme can really be almost perverse. But since it has such an intellectual story with it, it actually works on such a level that, I think it actually serves its purpose, and a lot of people can relate to it or enjoy it. But had it been a little bit different, I think people would be like, oh, no.
I do. One of my favorite things about that movie is that the director did so well with it was almost like it was two shorts, but they intertwine together so well.
The tone shifts dramatically.
Yeah, it was good. I was actually surprised that you liked that movie.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Like I said, if it tells a story, then I can get into it. But if it's just, just be hacking people up to be hacking people up, it's not anything that I like. What was the one that you tried to have me watch, and I was like, Jesus, I couldn't sit still, and I had to get up. I just couldn't take it. There's one movie where they're actually showing part of that movie. God, I can't think of it. We were just talking about it just last week.
Oh, gosh, I talk about movies all the time.
Well, remember the kid's brother? The brother that...
Oh, okay, so I gotcha. Okay, so the original movie we were talking about was Found.
Found.
Found was a good movie.
Yeah, but the one that they were watching, what was
Headless.
Man, I was just like, this is just...
He sat 5 minutes in and was like, yeah,
I'm out.
I can't do it. I was like, man, I've been trying to find this movie.
Well, it kind of reminded me of Found. It's just how they were doing this stuff, but then...
Found was a good movie. Found was extreme, but it was. I still think it was a good movie, though.
Found was, but Headless the first 5 minutes, and I'm out.
All right, so for Tracey, I guess...
story, plot is
plot is huge.
It's definite.
It's like, I guess my first foreign film was one called High Tension.
Yes.
High Tension's good.
And I really liked High Tension.
I watched that recently again.
that was really a good movie. But, it's... I can remember it started off with the guy in the truck, and you see this head going up and down, and next thing you know, through the head.
I never saw that movie until he told me, and he's like, oh, it's, spoiler alert, he's like, the guy is getting a blowjob from a
decapitated head.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was like, ooh, I have to go and look this movie up. And I actually thought it was really good.
It was good. There was another movie that kind of reminded me of that a little bit too. It was called Rest Stop. Have you ever seen that one? That one was good too.
I don't think I've seen Rest Stop.
Really? Well, you have to put that
do I need
on
to
your
put that-
list.
I do have a list.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it extreme or anything, but it's a
It was
movie.
good.
There's a sequel to it as well.
Really? I didn't know that.
I did have him watch Titane.
Titane, okay.
Titane!
So, Titane, all right. That has a story.
Yeah, that was freaking weird.
Did you like it?
Actually, I did. You kind of like, you end up liking the characters in it. And never seen a chick get pregnant from a car, but, that was kind of weird. Oh,
I was like,
gave it away, didn't I?
Wait, spoiler alert. I was like, is that really going to happen? Are they going to go there? And we were both like, oh, I've never seen that in a movie, so I thought it was pretty good. I actually liked it. I thought it was great.
So what do you think about films like Cannibal Holocaust, those kind of movies? Or are those too extreme for you?
I don't think you've seen that one, have you?
No, I haven't seen that one.
He doesn't like cannibal movies.
But I did like the one that you had me watch, the Eli Roth.
Green Inferno.
Yes,
okay.
I really like Green Inferno.
It's very similar.
That was very good.
Not as grainy and gory, but
it was very good. Total story, it was...
I don't think he could watch Cannibal Holocaust. I really don't think that. I feel like I know what kind of movies you like.
Well, we only sit back there and watch movies all the time, so I guess you would know.
When we first started, hanging out, he's a Titans fan. Okay, I don't like sports. I don't know anything about them. I'm not interested. So he would sit in this room and watch his Titans games, and I would sit in the bedroom and watch my extreme horror movies. And he'd come back there when I was watching a movie.
God.
This is the best story ever. Oh my gosh, what was it? They were having sex
The dead.
with the dead. Yeah, was it I think it was just it was necrophilia.
Yeah.
What was the movie? What's the name of the movie? Do you know?
The Necromantic?
Yes.
One or two. There's two.
I think that was the first one I was watching, and it was like one of those extreme parts, and he was like, "What the fuck are you watching?" And then he comes over there and tries like, Brigitte, I just can't. I just can't. I was like, this movie's good.
I'm going back to my football game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting, to say the least.
And this is the guy that thinks that I'm gonna like murder him in his sleep. By the
She
way.
is. She is. I told her for, I guess, 2 years now. You'll murder me in my sleep some night.
But you are Dr. What's your doctor's name again?
Klein?
Dr. Klein.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Dr. Klein? And I'm the one that's gonna murder him in his sleep. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
So, other than extreme movies, then what kind of horror movies do you think are your favorite?
I'm an 80s guy.
Yep.
So I go back to the early 80s. I'm also an 80s rock singer. So I'm going to definitely go back to the 80s for everything.
It was a great decade for like...
Oh, the music was the best music, and the movies were the best slasher flicks back then. 81, the year you were born.
We just talked about this. Supposedly, 1981, there was more horror movies filmed in that year.
Mm-hmm. And then everything just kind of got stupid. And then Scream came out, which I thought Scream was a great little slasher flick that they come up with, was something that hadn't been around for 10 years. So that was really good that they came up with that. You seen the latest Scream?
We just talked about this on our last podcast, actually.
Oh, really?
What did you think? What's your thoughts?
It was okay, but it was too campy. You know, like the first one was campy, yeah, but it was still the shock value, the star people that are on it. But then the fifth one, that was fifth, right?
It was fifth. Have you seen all of them?
Yeah, I've seen them all. They started, I mean, what was the parody? Scary Movie.
Scary Movie,
yeah, once those started coming out, then Scream started getting more campier and stuff, so it wasn't the same for me.
Wasn't the best one you've seen, huh?
The very first Scream was the very first best one for me.
Hands down, 3 seconds, favorite horror movie ever. Go.
Shit.
I know that was so
Never heard
hard.
that one.
Oh, it'll be coming soon. I have had 3 cups of coffee. So. Let's see. God. Well, we're going to go back to the early 80s. Man, I mean, I like the Friday the 13th and the, originals and so forth. And
Was it
Nightmare on Elm
the
Street
slashers or the boobies?
Both. I like boobies, I can't lie. I'm not gay.
No,
Can you say that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's no.
Nowadays,
it's totally
everybody's
fine.
politically correct, and cancel culture will cancel you. And
Hey, I like boobs. Boobs are great. Boobs in horror movies. We talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah.
Especially back in the 80s,
Yeah,
70s and 80s.
you really can't have a horror movie without a good set of boobs.
Well, nowadays,
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, is like how now it's not really as common.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it does happen, but it's a lot rarer.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember the girls were always complaining, well, how come they're not showing any guys? I've heard you say that, actually. And
Well,
now they do, though.
It's probably because no guy wants to do it. That's what I was telling her, is when I made that movie Candy, that was the hardest part, was finding the guy to do the nudity. Like, that was like super hard to find. 'Cause
For the right amount of money.
No, yeah, that's pretty much it. But nobody wants to do it, really.
Right.
You know.
So we have to check that off his list. So he has not seen that movie.
Okay.
So we'll have to check that off your list. It just so happens before Mike and I met 3 years ago. I love movies. I love film, especially low budget indie movies.
Now in 2014, 15, it came out in 15. So
it came out in 15. I think I bought it in 19.
Yeah.
Randomly come across it on the internet. I just was interested because it's low budget, and you appreciate that because
I like low budget movies.
I do too.
Tubi. I like watching the Tubi.
Tubi's great.
I love Tubi.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. How did I leave that out?
There you go.
Yeah, I love that one too.
Which part? Which one?
The first one.
Original.
Now, when they came out with the one with Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger.
Oh, that was not good.
Oh, it was the worst one I think I've ever seen. Their acting sucked. I was like, I bought it without watching it because I'm like, well, these are two big actors, and I was like, are you kidding me? This was horrible.
The second one I thought was pretty cheesy,
I
but
like the second one though.
but I mean, if you see, I'm a huge Bill Moseley fan,
Chopped up.
and that he I wanted to get a poster, and he kind of started with Chop Top way before his Rob Zombie films, and I absolutely love his character.
Yeah, I saw that when I was pretty small, and it kind of freaked me out. I mean, looking at it now, it is campy and kind of just funny, but when you're a kid,
the sexual references in that movie, even as a kid when I watched it, I never really picked up on it, but like him throwing his chainsaw around and doing this number, moving his tongue around. I was like, oh, I look back now, I was like, oh, that's pretty sexual.
It's funny you don't really think about sexual references when you're younger. I can remember, this isn't horror, but I can remember watching Three's Company as an adult, and I'm like, holy shit. I didn't catch that stuff back then.
Right.
I was sitting there watching it with my son at that time when he was younger, and I'm like, you don't need to see this. I became that parent.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, now look at him.
Do your kids watch horror movies?
I mean, I have them on. They don't really watch them. They're not that into them. No, they like some things. They like the the kiddie version stuff, like the Nightmare Before Christmas, the little the gateway. Horror.
Sure.
I've never seen that one, remember?
He's never seen Nightmare Before Christmas.
I think it's great.
It's good. We got to check that off. I mean, you have to check that movie off your list. I mean, it's just one of those that everyone has to watch.
Yeah.
Everyone has to watch. My daughter
If you like
doesn't
Tim
like
Burton.
horror.
Yeah, I like Tim Burton.
Okay.
Tim Burton it's good. The storyline is just so completely different.
But his
I think
stuff's
it's a good
weird
one.
anyway.
But I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Did he do Coraline? Who did
I
Coraline?
think he did.
Who did Coraline?
I don't know, but I
who
think I saw
directed
that
it,
one.
but
though.
isn't that a Neil Gaiman? Was that Neil Gaiman?
I don't
Kind of
think so. That's one of my favorites, though, as... I'm like, is that a kid movie or an adult movie?
I lean more toward adult.
Yeah, because the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, this could be kind of scary for, like,
that's what I'm thinking.
a kid. But, damn, I love that movie. I love that movie. That's one of my favorites, I think.
Is that the one where the girl looks like Wednesday and Addams Family? It's a cartoon, though, right?
Has the buttons
She has the buttons for the eyes.
Yeah. I have seen that.
I thought it would be the best idea ever. I tried to get my daughter to do it with me, and she wouldn't do it. I was like, I want to be the other mother, and you be Coraline. That's the greatest idea. And she's just like, nah. She's more kind of a gamer, and now she's in a South Park, and she did allow me to dress her up as a zombie. Was that year before last?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting really good at makeup. I'm learning a lot about special effects and makeup.
That's cool. Yeah.
The other thing she's good at, too, is cooking.
Cooking?
Yeah, so whenever we're having, she calls it football food, I'll be watching football games.
The only thing I like about football, I just want to cook. It's my therapy.
She'll cook and cook and cook.
Well, I just learned how to cook for the first time 3 years ago. And now I'm actually really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to make good spooky food too. Yeah. Halloween, we had a really good time Halloween night. I was like, we're gonna do some fun stuff. So I made some punch, and we
dressed up.
We dressed up. Put the spiders. I did the spiders in the ice, and just the goofy things. And
we took the animatronics and put them outside, and I had my stage lights from my band set up outside, and then we had the fog machines rolling out through there.
You rolled up on this house. It was actually if I was a little kid, I'd probably be scared. The first trick-or-treater that I had was about 4 years old, and he was so damn scared. He come up to me and he said, "Merry Christmas." I said, "Happy Halloween." He was so scared. It was funny. I even took my Bose speakers outside because I had downloaded all my favorite music from horror movies. My all-time favorite, probably the creepiest one to me, is from Creepshow. I love the score and the music from Creepshow. That one was good.
Yeah, that's good.
I like The Exorcist.
The Tubular Bells.
That was one of them on there too.
Yes.
I had that one on there. I had the best playlist. It was really good. It was good times.
Mm-hmm. We had fun.
So they're remaking The Exorcist. They're doing a new Texas Chainsaw coming out next week.
I saw that. Yeah, we were going through YouTube and looking at stuff, and we're like, not really excited about.
What are your thoughts? So Tracey and I had this conversation that I'm like, are they running out of ideas? And you can only do this so many times.
Well, if you saw the new Halloweens, the two new ones, the storyline is somewhat similar to that. They're trying to take the girl who survived the very first Texas Chainsaw and make her kind of waiting around for Leatherface to come back, which doesn't really fit canon with that story as much as it does with Halloween. Because with Halloween, you've had Laurie Strode off and on throughout the series, even though it's kind of went hills and valleys with all that.
Mm-hmm.
But with her, I mean, her whole story ended after the first one, and the actress playing her, she's dead now. So they have somebody new doing it, and so I don't know how well that's going to play. I don't know if that's going to be really important to people because, again, we haven't seen her since the 70s.
Didn't we see that there's going to be a new It? Didn't we see?
A new It? Already?
Yes.
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 Are you kidding?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not sure.
It's too soon.
I think it's too soon as well. I really do.
Well, I also think the second one, the thing that, for me, the scariest part in the second one is the very first scene where they're beating the gay dude. It was brutal.
It was so intense for like 5 minutes, and then the rest of the movie was... We were talking about this, Mike and I was talking about it earlier, that there was so much CGI. I'm like,
too much.
You can take... I could do so much better with multi-millions of dollars. I feel like... you give me multi-millions of dollars, and I feel like I could do so much more with it.
Well, there's certain movies where CGI is, it's very important to tell the story, and I get that. But with a movie like It, I don't really feel like you have to have it.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Agreed. But sometimes I think that they're running out of ideas.
I agree.
And you can only tell a story so many times. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first time I ever saw the original movie, no one had ever seen anything like that before.
Right.
Especially at that time. That was before I was born.
Yeah.
And it was extreme for back then, and I'm like, but you can only tell it so many times. I mean,
right. I mean, after the first two, for me, I mean, it's kind of all just
same.
Mm-hmm.
I did there was one that I saw not too long ago, and I've only seen it one time, but it was
Remember us watching that one?
No, not that. It's the Texas Chainsaw, but it's the backstory on Leatherface as a child.
Oh, did you like that one?
I did. No, you didn't like it?
I did not.
Why didn't you like it? Tell me about that.
Well, first of all, it was a fake out, too. The whole story was a fake out. They centered it around this one character you thought it was going to be, and then it fakes it out.
Yes.
But it's not just that. But I think there are certain times when you get the backstory, and it does away with some of that mystique of the character. Because I think some of the appeal of these crazed killers is that you don't know why they're doing it. And when you leave it to your own imagination, you come up with some of these bizarre stories. But when you see it play out like that, I don't know. It didn't
Oh,
work.
I see.
It didn't
Because
work for me.
it didn't work for you because you had in your own mind how the killer become the killer.
Yeah.
No, so speaking of that, it reminds me of Rob Zombie's remake of Halloween because it kind of told the backstory of Michael Myers. Did you like that
Well,
movie?
while I can appreciate that and what he did for it, I still prefer the original. I prefer him being a just unstoppable force that we don't know why.
Mm. You know, one of the movies that I really liked, it was a Wes Craven, and I think it was A New Nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
I liked how they took, the main characters of the show and they went into their real lives and brought them in. I really thought that was cool. That was different.
It was probably the second best Nightmare, I think.
I agree. That was different.
Yeah.
There's one that had the Hansel and Gretel story. Is that right? You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I saw that in the movie theater way back when.
That was a good one. I really liked it.
Wes did that one and the first one, and obviously those are the best, I think. But yeah, that one was. You'd never seen something like that before.
What'd you think of the remake with what was a guy, Kelly from the Bad News Bears?
Look, he's a great actor. I mean, he is a great actor, for sure. But yeah.
You can't beat Robert Englund.
You can't.
That was my thing. I was like, it wasn't terrible, but I mean, when you think of Freddy Krueger, you have to. I mean,
yeah, and it's the same thing like Doug Bradley with Pinhead. I mean, it's really hard to do one with that. I know they're making a new one, and it's a female this time, but they've done two with other males, and they didn't. The last one was better than the very first one that didn't include Doug Bradley, but it's still hard to watch without him because it's kind of that's kind of the character, I mean, and it's hard to, if they don't speak, it's easier like with Jason, but when you have their personality out there, it's really hard to emulate that with somebody else.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about it. That's a good point.
Now, what do you think of movies like, there's one that I haven't gotten her to watch yet, which I'm going to, but Strangers.
Oh, I love The Strangers.
I saw the first one.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like the first one.
I thought it was great.
Oh, I did too. I love it.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. What I love about it is the simplicity of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, that movie could be made with $500, really, because it's so simple. And there is no CGI, and there's really not a lot of practical either, really. I loved it. I thought it was great.
I did too.
The second one, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a totally different tone. Not sure how I feel about that ending, but yeah, it was still fun.
I didn't
the
watch
soundtrack was great.
I didn't watch the second one because I was not impressed with the first one.
Well, it's totally different. You might like it. It's more slasher vibe than the first one.
Okay, well maybe. Yeah. All right.
What was the other movie? You didn't want to watch it. You saw the first one. You didn't like it, which I thought the first one was good. Where the guy, he's blind.
Don't Breathe.
Yeah, Don't Breathe.
I thought the first one was great.
I think it was okay.
But you wouldn't watch the second one.
I mean, the first one was good, but
the second one was a little far-reaching for me.
Was it?
Yeah, it's like, I know you're blind, but you can do all this stuff.
I mean, I kind of felt that with the first one.
Well, yeah, okay, but at least it was inside his house.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, the second one's not.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, it starts there, but you've seen it, right? So it goes different places. I'm like, come on. So I could suspend my disbelief to think he knows this house inside and out. He knows every crack and crevice. He knows how to get there. So he's blind, but he got that. But once he steps out of that house, and I don't know, kind of lost me there.
I'll tell you one thing about Brigitte. Another thing that's kind of different. She has never seen a single Purge movie.
Oh no.
Well, okay. Let me tell you why. Actually, this is years later. The industry that I'm in that pays my bills. COVID, we went through a period where we couldn't evict anyone. I'm really good friends with my attorney, and she was like, literally, not one of our properties. She was like, there are people that are holding knives up to someone else's throat, and you can't evict them. There's nothing you can do about it. I said, girl, it's like the damn Purge. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. We're living in the Purge. I don't know. I never had an interest in seeing it. I mean, where anybody can just do whatever the hell they want to do. I was like, damn, we're living in the Purge right now. I'd never even seen the movie, but that was almost like it's too much reality for me going through COVID, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
They all became basically the same type movie, but
yeah.
it was pretty good. I like the first one.
Well, the first one is a little different because it's more centralized.
Right.
That's one story. But I mean, yeah, I like them. I don't love them, but I like them.
It's too like that shit could be for real. Part of the reason that I love horror so much is that damn, it's my escape away. I watch a horror movie and I'm like, holy shit, my life isn't so damn stressful after all. You know, it's just
Right.
it's an escape.
Right.
It's all entertainment.
Well, I was brought up in a religious household, so I claim to be a Christian. But there are some movies where I feel like it's Satanism. They're pushing way too much stuff on there. And like, for example, extreme horror. I feel like some of those movies people are Satanists and things like that. So I don't like to watch those type movies because that's too realism for me.
He has watched movies where I was surprised that you're like, that was good. Frankenstein Created Bikers. I had him watch that.
That was funny though.
It was funny. There were some scenes and I was like, oh my God, what is he going to think? What's he going to think about me? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And you're like, that was pretty funny. That was good.
The sex scene with the girl's eyeball, that was...
With her brother?
Yeah, with her brother.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was a good one.
Yeah, that was...
The first one you have not seen. You have.
From what you tell me, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, it was a little bit more extreme. It was definitely a little bit more extreme, and I don't think that would have been hard for you on that one. I felt like it seems like rape scenes you can't do very well.
I don't like rape scenes, and I don't like anything hurting children.
So, I Spit on Your Grave is out. The Girl Next Door. Never seen that.
Yes. There's two of them. There's two of them, right?
Or the comedy. Oh, you talking about American Crime and Girl Next Door? Same.
No, there's two of them. I'm not talking about the fun Girl Next Door. I'm talking about it's based off of a true story.
Right. In Indiana.
That was hard to watch.
Oh,
that was extremely.
That one kept me up at
night.
night.
That one was. I swear to you, that was the one movie I remember. I actually was managing a property in Evansville, Indiana, and I remember going and telling my property manager, I said, damn, I just want to pour bleach on my damn brain and forget I ever watched it. That was hard. He wouldn't be able, I will tell you right now, he wouldn't be able to handle that at all. It bothered me.
Yeah, it did.
That one bothered me.
Yeah.
Is that where it's like a girl, she's held up in like a room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that actually.
You did?
You did?
Yeah, I did
It's
see
well
that.
made.
Yeah, it was. I liked it. I know. I see that. I also saw the first I Spit on Your Grave too, when she cut down. That was it for me. Oh!
Are you talking about the original?
Yes,
Wes
the
Craven
original. Yes, the original.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that too. It's like we were just talking about Bone Tomahawk, which
He watched that for the first time the other night.
I loved it, but I was like, damn, that hurts. Oh, remember when I split him right in the... Oh, I felt it. I felt every bit of it. Don't you remember? Because I'm like, oh!
I looked over and he's like crying. Like, oh! I was like, but you know what? This is the first time I've ever seen in a movie where they've held a man upside down. You think about for a woman, you have Terrifier. That's one of them. And then another one, well, they didn't really split her in two, but Hostel 2, they, hung her upside down. That's actually one of my favorite kill scenes. I love the scene of that movie. But for a man, flipping a man upside down like that, I loved it. I thought it was great.
Well, the first Hostel, I remember when they cut the person's heel and they raised the heel up, and I'm like, urgh. That was kind of gross to me.
Oh, you're talking about the...
Yes.
What's that called? Your
I forget what it's called.
Killians or...
I don't remember what it was. All I know, I saw it, and then I saw everything. I was like, oh, that's nasty. Ugh.
And then so Hostel didn't bother me at all.
That part did.
Nothing about that movie bothered me. What did you think? Did you like it?
Yeah, I like it. I like both of them. I haven't seen the third one, but I've seen the first two.
I haven't seen the third one
I
either.
didn't know there was a third one.
Actually, I don't think I did either.
There's a third one. I think it's set in Las Vegas or something. I was like, oh no,
Is Terrifier 2 out?
I don't think so. I don't think so yet.
Okay.
But soon, I think.
I'd like to see that.
Oh, they've been talking about it forever.
Yeah.
Did you like the first one?
I did, yeah. And it was originally a short, what was it called? All Hallows Eve?
Yes, because I started playing it for you.
I was like, oh, he was like, ooh, he thought he was doing something special for me
I
to
thought
play
I
like
found
that.
a new one.
I was like, oh, I've seen this like 5 times. It's the little short of Art the Clown. Was played by a different character than Terrifier.
Right.
It wasn't as good.
I think what happened was the director sold that movie, I think, but he somehow got to keep the clown, which was cool. Because they did make another one, the All Hallows Eve Part 2, which had nothing to do with art or anything. So I think he sold that concept.
Gotcha.
But he kept the clown and put him in Terrifier and had much bigger success with him. So
I don't know if you know, but Brigitte makes a really good clown.
do you?
Yes, I've played a clown
She does.
quite a few times.
Well, my band's called Three Legged Circus. We're an '80s cover band or tribute band, I guess you could say.
Do you
And
know what bands do you play?
Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, Kiss, Van Halen, all the good stuff back then. But Brigitte, she'll dress up like a clown for me, and I've brought her in as part of the act. I'll ask what her name is, and her name's Titane. So
The funny story is that he was like, "What's gonna be your clown name?" And it was the thing with it's a children's fairy tale. And it's, hey, what's your name? Puddingtane. Ask me again, I'll tell you the same.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, what's your name? I said, Puddingtane. And we laughed. And I said, no, I'll come up with a good name. And I told my mom that story, and she was like, Puddingtane. That's be
perfect.
creepy. It could be funny. You need to roll with it. And I like creepy clowns. I love killer clown movies. Probably my favorite. But he
I like
likes,
creepy, sexy
he
clowns.
likes sexy clowns. So, Puddingtane's character, she's kind of a mix between both. I have to do, he likes the sexy part. I like the creepy part. So she's a good right in between. I think so. But I've done some pretty damn crazy ass clowns. Before we hung out, we knew each other. We had met several times. First time I dressed as Pennywise, he was dressed as Sebastian Michaels. It was actually
That's my character.
Sebastian Michaels. We were at the Full Moon Tattoo Festival, and I was, hey Tracey, because I didn't know to call him Sebastian. I was like, hey, do you want to come have your picture with me? And he had his picture with me, and I said, you don't know who I am, do you? And he said,
That's always the thing that scared me to death when some girl goes, you don't remember me, do you? Like, shit.
When I told him who I was, because no one would recognize me.
All right.
No one. All the celebrities that year, that was so fun. All the celebrities were coming to me for their picture, and it was so fun. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, it's when I go in character, I am my character. Bridget's not a thing. And I will tell you one thing, Pennywise gets more play than Brigitte would ever get. I got hit on more as a creepy ass clown. That's definitely legit. It's craziness to me, but yeah.
I still go with the sexy. And damn teeth that you had. Ooh.
Oh, he hates my clown teeth. I got so much recognition off of it. I was featured in Clown Girl Horror Magazine over at
For the Pennywise one?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I did. The first year I was a clown was Captain Spaulding. My personal version of Captain Spaulding is a female.
Nice.
That was a lot of fun.
Captain Spaulding with boobs.
Captain Spaulding with boobs. It was still kind of creepy though. It was still creepy, but it was a lot of fun. And that was back before I learned how to do my own makeup. I had my makeup professionally done back then, but I've come a long way with my own makeup, and Puddingtane, all her makeup I've done myself.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got any more questions
No.
for Tracey?
Thank you, Tracey. Thank
Okay.
you for coming on and talking to us.
Thank you for having me out. I enjoyed it.
Do you have anything coming up? Anything you want to showcase? Anything you're working on or starting to work on?
Well, after watching Bone Tomahawk, I think I'd really like to do a vampire western. For me, I guess whenever I do something, my character's either a vampire, a musician, or drug addict. I think I was a pimp once on what's the 700 Club? But I think that my favorite character to do is my vampire characters. So I think I would like to write and do a movie, a Western vampire character, because I don't think I've really seen anything like that other than, what was the Quentin Tarantino? There was something he did.
From Dusk Till Dawn?
Yeah, that was the closest thing I think would be the.
Not really quite a Western though, but
Oh, yeah, it was.
after watching, I'm surprised you liked Bone Tomahawk as much as you did.
It was a great movie.
I don't know. I was really surprised.
It
but
told a story. It had great actors. I mean,
It's very underrated, I think.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Kurt
big
Russell,
time.
you can't go
Big
wrong
time.
with. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
that would be fun. That'd be a fun project.
I think it would be fun too.
All right. I think that's all we have.
All right. Sounds good. So,
Nothing else. Thanks for coming out.
all right. Keep it hardcore.
Keep it hardcore.
I
And
keep it
gory.
any way I can get it.
Wow. It's hardcore.
Nothing harder.